Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of the Weekly Outlook in the DeFi Dojo. Today is December 15th, 2024. We are going to discuss where is the market going, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, stablecoin dominance. We're going to talk about equities. We're going to go into the S&P, the NASDAQ. What's the dollar doing? The normal thing, and then we're going to go into some chart requests afterwards. If you would like to see more videos like this, hit the like and subscribe button below. I would really appreciate that. And if you'd like to get in with us in the community, the Discord link will be in the comment section below. And at the end of the majors that I go over, I take chart requests from the Discord, and they can ask me what I think about this ticker or this crypto or this stock, and I chart it live right in front of you. We do really well over here. We've been buying Bitcoin and Ethereum since 2022. We've been buying stocks since the bottom in 2022, and now we're going to try to figure out what is our exit plan, right? What you're looking at here is Bitcoin, and I have it rather zoomed in because these levels are all of our macro levels, right? And we just closed the weekly over the 1.272. Now, I know in last week's video, I mentioned how Ethereum had just closed over the 886 by like, I don't know, $3 or $4. It was real close, but it did close that candle over. And so at that point, I was like, okay, this can continue. So we followed that up immediately afterwards with a massive dip all the way back down to our 8 EMA. Totally normal. Could it have also just kept going? Absolutely. This is where things get difficult. It is very hard to determine week to week what we can expect, because at any moment in time, we can come right back to that 8 EMA on the weekly. That is the best place to buy things. I bought more Ethereum as well as other altcoins when we got close to this, and I'm glad I did because we shot all the way back up. And if you zoom out, you'll see this is the macro downtrend that we've been in since November of 2021, right? And then you have your highs of this year that tapped that 886 twice and retraced back down, and this is kind of like just a giant triangle happening here, and we are breaking it. So we're starting the new week above it again, and now we have going on 3 weeks over this trend. We really just need to get over this 886. It's kind of just a psychological 4,000 at this point, and I have no doubt that it will. Do we come back down to test the 8 EMA again? Totally possible. So that brings our downside potential to 35, I'd say 3,600 by the time it gets down there. But I really don't know if that's going to happen again. It can, because you got to shake out all the longs and shake out everyone holding spot as much as you can to get the liquidity you need to really push this higher. But my upside targets for Ethereum starting at 7,750. 10K almost, and then if things get real crazy, I think we could get to 14K. Those are my TP targets that I am shooting for on Ethereum. For Bitcoin, we have already approached and hit our first TP target, which is this 1.272. That's at 103.6. We just closed the weekly over that, so that opens the door for 110.5. If we get above that, then we're very likely headed to 123.4. Above that, we'll assess that when we get there. I do think that the faster we get up to these levels before the end of the year, the higher we can expect Bitcoin to get to before March. March is when I kind of have the timeline set. Like, okay, I think March is going to end the cycle. We'll kind of see if I'm right or not. I don't know. Some people think we're going to have a cycle that ends in the end of next year. And there's an argument for that as well, but depending on how things shake out and what the chart tells me, we'll be able to know a little more certainly when that time comes. So also understand the downside target for Bitcoin this week could be 94.7, right? We could just get a retest all the way back down again. Every week has done this where it just wicks down, wicks down, wicks down. And this is just how liquidity is gained to push things higher. Every candle has been closing higher, so I don't expect that to change until a candle tells us otherwise. If we look at total market cap, we also just tested the 8 EMA and bounced up. We didn't actually make a higher high this time, though. This is kind of a little bit of a doji looking candle, and sometimes that can be a continuation candle, sometimes that can be a top candle. In my opinion, this looks more like a continuation candle because it didn't make a higher high. Typically, when you have a doji top candle, that is the high, right? And so that wick didn't come down, come up high enough to really tell me it's a doji top candle. It's more of a continuation. My favorite chart to look at right now is this one. And I shared this in the Weekly Outlook channel as well, if you'd like to study it, and gave you the long string here of how to put that in your trading view if you want to look at it as well. Just copy and paste it in there and it should pop up. And I think you might need to have at least a mid-tier membership with TradingView to be able to do that. But we have like a downtrend that's way up here. So I honestly think we're at least going to get there. And if you don't know what this chart is, we're basically taking total 3, which is the altcoin market. We're getting rid of USDT market cap because we just want altcoins in this formula. And we're dividing it by Bitcoin. And so what this shows us is how are altcoins doing against Bitcoin. And right now, what I'm seeing is a weekly bullish cross, right? So here's that. Followed by a big move up to the 382, a rejection, and a retest of the 8 EMA, which is perfect. This is textbook. This is what you want to see. And now we should see a continuation up. And once that 382 there breaks, then we can expect the 0.5. Once that breaks, then we can expect the 618, right? And that's right where that downtrend is. And so where these intersect is right around January, mid-January of next year. And so by then, maybe we see this candle touching that exact apex, and then we'll see if it breaks. I imagine we get a lot of volatility in between now and then, but the general trend is up for altcoins. If we look at Bitcoin dominance, it's kind of starting to cross bearish on the weekly. I guess we'll see. That blue line you see there is like the main downtrend. So, we closed below it, and then last week closed back above it. We'll see what happens with these EMAs over the next week or so. By the way, this is the last weekly outlook of the year. We have Christmas and birthdays. I don't know if I mentioned that already while I was recording, but I just wanted to do that again. So I will still do the weekly write-up that I normally do. There just won't be a live stream. So we'll see. I would venture to guess this starts heading back down until we get a candle close back up over those EMAs on Bitcoin dominance. I don't expect it to continue higher. Maybe that's wrong as well. We'll see. But ETH dominance is starting to bounce off that 0.5. It's going to take a little while. I don't think it's just going to blast straight up like I said a few weeks ago. But if you look at the ETH Bitcoin chart, this is where I converted all of my Bitcoin to Ethereum. So I'm still doing okay. I'm still outperforming at the moment. We'll see if that continues to hold true. It's basically the all-time trend line here that we're messing around with. And there's just a lot of upside here. If Ethereum can do what it's been doing the last couple cycles, I think we could see as high as 0.06 to 0.07 again. And if that downtrend there breaks, then this would be the main target for Ethereum Bitcoin if ETH does what ETH does, right? And so this is kind of what I'm shooting for. Is first here, then up here. I don't know how long it takes for that to happen or how quickly. Timing is hard. Knowing the levels and knowing how things play out is easier, and I can just kind of expect that to happen. I'm also invalidated if it falls back down to where I converted, at which point, if it does, I'll probably just convert back. And so I have a lot of wiggle room here with this so far, and that is my plan. If we look at Bitcoin against the NASDAQ, it is continually pushing higher. EMAs are bullish. After that downtrend break, I went ahead and switched all my money over to crypto and stopped playing with stocks. Short-term, mid-term kind of swings, and I started doing it with crypto. Now, looking at the dollar, it's still just ranging between these two levels, and as long as it does that, equities can continue to do well. They might have their minor pullbacks, but until we really get some significant move on the dollar, I don't know if we're going to see a significant move in equities to the downside. Every time we tap the top of this channel, I'm taking a little bit of profits on stocks, and that's been my plan since we've gotten to the 1.618. I've been just taking profits, and every time we get a green week up here, I take a little more profits. And so it's kind of just grinding its way up here, and I don't know how long it's going to continue to do that. I do think that we're towards the end of this cycle for equities in the housing market, and it's probably going to be sometime around mid next year when we actually start seeing the fallout from this, and for that bear market to really start showing itself in little ways. So I don't think there's any rush to sell things. I'm just in the habit of taking profits. I mean, we've been in this for for years, a couple years now from these lows. And so I really think that when you see 200% profits on a stock in 2 years, like, what are you doing if you're not taking something off the table, right? And then just saving it and waiting for other opportunities to put it back in. Looking at the NASDAQ, it's now approaching the 1.618 and it continues to push higher. Notice the NASDAQ was green last week while the S&P was red. And I remember saying that a couple weeks ago. I think the NASDAQ's going to outperform the S&P simply because the S&P has already gotten past its 1.618 and the NASDAQ's still playing catch up to that. Once it hits that 22,412 mark, and this is the E-mini futures, by the way, but once it hits that mark, I'm really curious to see what happens and how big of a sell-off we might get, if any, right? Maybe it just continues to trickle up towards the top of the channel too, like like the S&P did. We'll see. Again, I'm waiting for the dollar to kind of show signs of what to expect from equities. But in the meantime, we're playing crypto because this chart is showing us that crypto is going to go higher against the NASDAQ. Okay, so with that said, I like AIOZ a lot here. I think that this dollar mark's been holding for 3 weeks straight, and we have a potential, let's see what that is. It's like 200%. 200% exactly to the 1.618, at which point I will take profits and get at least my initial out. And then if things get really crazy, if we get one of these stupid crazy altcoin moves on it, like we've seen in cycles past, like $36 is the 2.272. And a lot of people are like, when they first hear things like that, they're like, oh, there's no way that can happen, right? But then, like, did you think Sol would go from $1 to 200? So that sort of thing is possible with the new shiny toys, and maybe AIOZ is one of those new shiny toys. And then if you look at, let's see, one of my other ones that I like a lot is, where is it? The CPAL. There it is. So CPAL is not on any exchanges yet, but it's doing really, really well, consistently just going higher. It's a low market cap. And, I think I'm probably going to take some profits if we hit that 286 mark there, just to get some off the table. And where did we get in? I forgot. It was like way the hell down here. But I think I got in at like 40 cents or 50 cents or something like that. So doing really well on that one. I think it can continue to go higher. Wells, another one. It's on base. Base coins are starting to get a lot of attention. So this one here is another one that I've recently purchased, and this is a pretty bullish formation. Rejected the 786 already and already moving higher, so now all we got to do is get above that 10-cent mark, and this could see anywhere from 14 to 20 cents in the near term, and then 33 cents if it continues to go higher than that. So, and I've posted a lot of different tickers that I'm in the channel. So the Hop coin on Hyperliquid, somebody brought to my attention, and I really like it. It's like still only $1 million market cap. You can get it on Hyperliquid. It's a meme coin. I don't do a lot of memes, but if I can find something that's as hot as Hyperliquid right now under $1 million market cap, I'm gonna take a pretty big stab at it and hope for the best. All right, so that concludes my majority of my majors, and right now we'll go into chart requests. So let's get started with that. We already have several in the chat. All-time high Sunday, that's right. All right, first chart request is ZRO. ZRO. Let's see, that's looking good, pushing higher. It's not very old, according to Binance anyway. Okay, so we'll just take that high to that low. And we're already in the TP zone. You can see it's already, see those take profits happen as soon as they touch, right? So TP at 1.272, we get a drop. TP at 1.414, get a big drop. And now we'll see if it pushes higher and tries to get above it. And if it does, you can expect to see the 1.618 at 8.872. I do expect to see another major drop just like this one if that touches. So that's why these TP levels are important. Sometimes they don't make it to all of them either. It might double top at the 1.414 for all you know. The trick is to at least wait for like a close above to have confidence that it will continue to go higher. From here, that gives us a 21% gain. But this is such a new asset, it looks like, unless there's a lot more chart history behind this that I don't know about. 2.272 is where altcoins like to go, and that would be at 13.94 for your real high side targets. As long as the weekly EMAs are bullish and the daily EMAs are bullish, these are your supports, right? So you're holding that 8 EMA, you're good to go. If it starts dropping or falling and you start noticing divergence on the chart, then it might be time to get out. 4K ETH, is it? Did we finally make it? We're $7 over. Okay, this is where we were last week when I was making this call, and I feel like I jinxed it, so I don't want to say anything. I'm just going to shut up and move on. Okay, Velo. Velo, man, we made 100% gains on Velo in like a day. It was so beautiful. So I took a lot of those profits and I converted it into AIOZ, so I got free AIOZ, which brought my cost basis down significantly on AIOZ. Where did I put them weird places up here? Here it is. All right, so yeah, there's your not having a golden pocket sell-off is what this is, right? It just went straight through it. And so as soon as it got like way up here and I saw the retracement happening, I was like, all right, I'm going to swap. So I think I sold at like 29 cents, half of them. Got my initial out, so I just have what I put in originally into it. Now I can feel comfortable just holding that, because if it does what I think it might do, it's going up here, right? And so we got an eventual potential 458% from here just to get to the 1.618. And I remember mentioning that I thought Velo had a much better upside potential than Arrow, even though I hold both. Because when I mentioned that, we were down here around 13, 14 cents down at this 0.5. And if you look at Arrow's already above its 886, right? Which means it can continue, but it just means that Velo had much more upside potential because it was still way down here, which is why I kind of went a little heavier in Velo at that time and was able to then take profits and still have a nice bag of Arrow or of Velo. But Arrow looks really good, and we got upside targets at 386 to 715 into the TP zone potential from here. So that's at least even to the lowest target 83% from here, so that one looks great. Looking at virtual, because I see that is also something somebody wants to look at. It's just going to continue going. So here's the 2.272. I did take profits there. I do still have a bunch of the stuff that's in virtual's platform, mainly Convo. I think Convo looks better than most right now. Game, I got some I am AI or whatever, and I don't like that because I like saying I am Groot, and it started with I am, so I just bought it. And it's also a palindrome, which is cool. And I got some squid meme in there. I don't know, there's a bunch of crazy stuff in there. I don't quite understand it all. I know that AI agents are a big narrative right now, and so I am willing to play the game. But we closed the daily over the 2.272, so 252 now becomes our support. If you see any sharp moves down below that level, then we're likely going to get a pullback, and it could go back as low as 136. That is where I am willing to buy back if it happens, a lot of it, and we'll see what happens. Either way, I'm still holding a nice hefty bag of other stuff that is associated with virtuals and doing well. Hype. Gosh, hype. It saddens me. I missed out because of a checkbox. But it happens. Is it on Pith? Is that what we're doing? I don't even know which one to look at because I don't actually have the Hyperliquid chart on this. I guess Pith will do. Okay, so we charted that downtrend and we blasted through everything. Now it appears we're finding support on the 3. So now $23 is the support. And as long as it stays over that, we can go ahead and continue up to these crazy price targets and valuations. I hope that helps. Every time it goes up some more, I cry a little more inside. Okay. Velo. I think I just covered Velo. Link. Velo targets are up here. around 70 cents to a dollar, $1.40, pending retests of the golden pocket. Maybe it wants to dip all the way back down in there because it didn't give us the pullback from the golden pocket like things usually do. That 17, 18 cent mark now is going to be the main support. Like if it falls below there, then you got something to worry about, but that should hold. And as long as we close a daily candle over the 786 again, then we can continue, but it continues to not do that. So yeah, it just closed underneath there. We're already kind of rejecting there. I want to see a daily close over 25.4 to then continue. Otherwise, it can come back down and retest this 21 cent mark. So if you're looking to enter, this 21.739 mark might be a good place to try. Sol. I briefly covered it before the stream started, but I will do it again for the masses. So this is a big bull flag, and I think that it'll eventually break out to the upside, and we'll go see higher for Sol. In the meantime, what I'm suspecting is that now that people are starting to come to the realization altcoins are going to start doing well, they are probably going to shy away from things that are as expensive as $226 a token and probably go more for the things that are $1 to $10 a token, which is why I'm going more towards things like AIOZ, Velo, Arrow, new meme coins on Hyperliquid, things like that, CPAL, things with lower market caps that have the potential to increase 20 times rather than Sol. Like, okay, what's its upside target? Let's go look at it. So we got almost 700 to the 1.272. Highest I think we'll ever see is this 1.618 if it gets there. It's a pretty big number. Even 700 is a big number. So I don't know how much it's going to go, but that's maybe what we can expect if things get crazy stupid again for Sol. I don't know if that's going to happen. I think that we could at least see 500, and I'd be happy with profits there somewhere in this vicinity. So we'll see how crazy it gets. But it isn't a bull flag, and by all means, it's definitely bullish on the weekly still. If we just zoom in here, we're just kind of grinding away on the 8 EMA. So 2 weeks in a row touching it, staying over, it can absolutely push higher. That's a lot of chart requests, man. No, I'm going to go with one, and you can drop the rest in the chart request channel. I'm going to do Peak because I really like Peak. Peak is another one I don't think I mentioned yet, but I really like this token. I took it from 42 cents to 70 cents, sold, and then rebought at 54, 55, I think it was this morning. I don't know, time's going fast. It was either this morning or yesterday. But I think that this could be one of the major movers. It's got a lot of interest already, and this chart looks great. It's just constantly up. We bounced off to 236 here, which is where I kind of found re-entry. I was hoping we would touch that 21 EMA, and it never came to it. So now we're kind of getting back over, and this thing's got a lot of strength once it gets going. And so I think that we can see much higher on this. How much higher, I don't know. It's brand new to me and to the world, apparently, and I think that this has a lot of potential. All right, we'll do AVAX since it's a major. So I did a nice leverage trade on this, and we took it from down here to 50 and cashed out. That was the leverage TP that we had, which is why that's there. But spot TP I have up here around 80, and so that's what I'm still aiming for at the minimum for that one. And then if we clear that 786, then we're talking a different kind of coin here that can then potentially do insane things, but one level at a time. I want to see it clear the 786 before I get too excited, and I'm definitely going to take profits there. ORAI. I haven't heard that one in a while. Do I have that in here? Yep, I do. It's been a while since I've charted this one. Apparently, look at all those invalid fibs. Okay, that's a nice looking accumulation. And it's already given us a golden pocket sell-off, and it's trying to return. Weekly EMAs are now bullish again. So the downside target this week could be as low as the 8 EMA at 10.31. That would be a great retest potential. Your stop loss has got to go way down here. And that's what makes these altcoins difficult as soon as they start turning bullish on the weekly. The goal is to buy as close to the 8 EMA as possible while keeping your stop loss just underneath the 21 EMA. And this is for spot holding, right? This is not to be used for leverage trading, because obviously if you're buying at the 8 EMA and your stop loss is under here, that's a 17% loss, which is big enough as it is on a spot trade, right? Don't be trying to do that with leverage. You're going to die. So the 0.5, should hold. Now that we've cleared it with this big green candle, that 0.5 should absolutely hold. And so 925 would be as low as I think we could see. The upside target currently is 16. Get past that, you know the rest. Golden pocket 786, clear 786, and then we can see higher. And those are your levels. Zero Bro, I want to dump this, but would be typical that impatience would cost me. All right, let's look at it. Zero Bro, I've heard of this thing. I just have no idea what it is. Oh, it's so new. Okay, well there's a clear pennant looking formation here. And we'll go there. And we'll go there. So whatever this does, you don't want to be in it if it breaks down below here, and you want to be in it if it breaks above here. And while it's in here, you want to just buy the bottom and sell the top. And that's basically the only advice I can give you. I don't know how much there is below this, or if it was tradable beyond that. Like maybe there's a massive flag here, which I assume there probably is. And so that looks very bullish if that's the case. If it just started this way and it's just been trading sideways this whole time, and it's an AI agent like you're saying it is, and it's not doing what all the other AI agents are doing, then maybe we pick a new AI agent, right? Other than that, I would wait for this triangle to break. And then once it does, then you can have more confidence in the upside of it. And what you'll want to do is take it from this high to this low, and that will be how you trade this. So notice the 786 rejection twice, very perfectly, I might add. And that is what needs to break. 52 cents needs to break and close at least a daily candle over in order for you to be confident that this is going to continue higher to insane valuations, which would be these targets up here. All right, Kali AI. I'm going to learn all of the AI agents today, aren't I? I don't even see that. You might have to send me in the chart request channel the link for that, and I will definitely chart that for you, but I don't see it here. Phantom. I don't know why I'm just not interested in Phantom. And maybe that's being a little naive. Okay, so we're still just kind of hanging out in the golden pocket. That's why I'm not interested, because I'm pretty confident that it might sell off from here again. And the biggest upside it might see is that 786 from this location. And until it breaks that 786, I'm not really interested. So, I mean, it's a nice 25% gain. But this is where you want to take profits. And I obviously have this box here from when I charted it a while ago. And that's the take profit zone. So don't be surprised if this sees all the way back down to 108 again at some point from where it is now. And until it closes at least a daily candle over that, which it has not yet, until it at least closes a daily candle over 14368, then it will not continue. And maybe today's the day, and then maybe it does go hit the 786. But until then, it's a watch and see. Airbnb. O. So are you talking about O, the stock? You. That's an ugly candle. Okay, well, the last time I charted this, I said it was going somewhere around here, and that's what it did. And then it sold off really heavily, and now it made a lower high, and now it looks like it's coming down even lower than that. So it doesn't look great. Daily is turning bearish more than likely. Yeah, daily's bearish. Weekly is also going bearish. So this 0.5 is a big deal apparently, and I wouldn't want to be anything involved with this unless it got back over 134.22. If it doesn't get back over 134.22, as long as it stays below like it is right now, it's a sell. It also looks like they've missed their last two earnings, which is probably the cause for all of this. And I wouldn't be surprised if it continued to drop. And then O. I'm assuming he's asking about O, the stock, which is a great dividend player. That's not it. Is that it? That's not the right one. It's this one. No, that's Oxy. Did it go to OTC? Yeah, it's this one. I don't know what happened, but that's not. It's not the net. I don't know where it went. I'm gonna have to look that up later, unless it's over here. Ah, there it is. Okay. So this thing trades in between $50 and $60 constantly. The benefit you get from O is its dividend, which pays out quite often and quite handsomely. 26 cents pretty much every month? Yeah. So you get a quarter, a little bit more than a quarter every month in dividends per share on that, which is a really nice hold. I mean, you're just collecting dividends for a long time. And what you want to try to do is just nab the bottom of the channel while it's in this massive uptrend. So it's probably not a bad place here, although that looks like its first downtrend happening in a long time. I don't know, it's a little abnormal for this chart. I don't know if the dividend's worth that. I might have to go sell mine. Thanks for letting me look at it. Okay, Open. Is Open a stock? I know Open is a stock, but it could very well be a crypto now. And it still looks like doo-doo. Until the housing market cycle concludes, I don't know if I'm going to be involved in anything real estate in the stock market until I see what happens at the end of 2026. Just me personally, that looks bearish and it's no good. Let's look and see if he's talking about a crypto. Maybe he is, because there's also one here. That doesn't look good. Is it Open or Open Custody? Which one? Open Custody Protocol looks better than Open itself. So I'm going to go ahead and guess that you're talking about this one. And it is fairly new, and the weekly EMAs are not bullish yet, but it is holding a lot of candles above them, so perhaps you can have a little speculation that will go higher, and if so, I would wait for a close above 0.016499. That is your mark to beat. Let's see, how far behind am I? Open, Zero Bros, and AI Agent Coin. Yes, Mo. Let's look at Mo. Okay, is it that one? New to MEXC. And on Radium, it's probably got more chart. Alright, that looks bullish. We're just now getting EMAs on the daily, and they are bullish. So that looks pretty good. I like this curve going on here. And let's see, let's go down to the 4-hour and draw that downtrend. Right here is the one I'd pick. Come on, magnet. Okay, so far everything's typical here. 786 sell-off, golden pocket sell-off by all means. And now we're trying to push up higher again. What you want to see is support in here. right? So clear this 618 at 0.01, let's just call it 0.015. And as soon as you see 0.015 become support instead of resistance, then you can have confidence that that will continue higher and start heading to the 786, 886. And if you're going to really try to hold this, then this would be your TP target here, 5 cents, which would provide a very nice gain. Obviously, you want to start at these levels, 3.2, 3.9, then 5. TP a little bit each time. If it closes above, then you can expect the next. Zeus. That's not a nice candle. Did we just reject again? No, just Zeus. Okay. Looks like a 786, 886 rejection. Yep. I don't have to draw them anymore. I just know where they are. Okay, so the golden pocket sell-off happened. Like bam, bam, return, bam. But then it never found support in the golden pocket. It just kind of kept going straight through it. So it wouldn't surprise me that it needs to find support either here or here again. So you got 73 cents and 62 cents could be your potential pullback targets. So it could go there or here before it decides to bounce back up. And as long as it holds the 7.1 at 62 cents, then you can expect higher. And if you do get higher, then the first place you would want to TP is right there at $2. If things get real crazy, you can see 4. Hope that helps. All right, we're on to Eigen. I remember this one. I remember it was doing really bad, and so it's probably doing better now. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So we're through the greed FOMO zone, which is our blue lines here. And the first take profit target is $6.20. Could be as much as $8.27. If things get real nuts, $14 would be your main TP bull target. Okay, Groot, some thoughts on Bitcoin runes. I don't know anything about Bitcoin runes. Dog to go the moon looks pretty prime to rip, even with no sex listing. Dog to go to the moon. I don't know about this one. I think I've heard rumors about it, but you'll have to give me a symbol of some sort. Like, is it just dog? I don't know. Shoot me a symbol and I'll look at it. I don't think that ORAI chart had the previous cycle and all-time high in it, just FYI. Oh, okay. Might not be relevant anyway, but just mentioning in case it matters. Yeah, I don't, the one I looked at, maybe I got the wrong one. Let's see what else there is. ORAI. I mean, KuCoin has a lot. Did it miss that? Like, was that not where it was? I mean, how was it higher than that? Let's look at BitGet. Nope, it's even worse. Gate.io. See, yeah, right around 90, 100 bucks. Okay, so maybe we'll try this one. Come on, magnet. There we go. Okay. So 618, 618. So we got to clear 1760, it looks like. And 972 is your support. So that's a freaking huge gap. That's a huge swing. But the daily is trying to stay bullish. So as long as those daily EMAs do not cross, we won't test that support. And if we can get a daily close back up over 1160, let's call it, then we can probably try to shoot for higher. Let's see what the pivots are. Yeah, look, that's your resistance right there. So close the daily candle over 1150, 1160. this can start moving again, and that would also look like a downtrend break, at least minor one. Let's see here. Yeah, so it's currently trying to work on that now. And so this is where the lower time frames come in handy. So if you can get that move over the 1173 and close a 4-hour or a 1-hour candle over that mark. Look, it just closed the 1 hour there. If my line's good enough, but if you can get the 1 hour over 1173 to close, then this can absolutely, be one that just rips. And then that would be your TP target at 1760. Okay, back to it. There's a lot of chart requests. You guys are really getting busy. Meta and Uber. I'm gonna stay away from stocks right now. Most people are concerned more about crypto. If you want me to do those, drop them in the requests channel. Meta is a good long-term hold. Uber probably also. But we're definitely way up there. I mean, profits should be taken. I've taken some profits on Meta, personally. Good stream, as always. Gotta run. Thanks, Groot. All right, man. See you later. Dog to the moon. Dog USDT. Okay, I thought I searched dog. I didn't see anything. Dog USDT. Okay, we got one here on BitGet. All right, we found one. Hopefully this is it. Yeah, that looks great. Usually that's a V, and you see that before new all-time highs. So I'm not really to draw it, but we'll just try to get TP targets up top. And I'd be searching for that 2 cent mark, really. 1.5 cent, 2 cent would be the main TP targets, and then you got your daily 0.012 here for your pivot point. And that obviously is what needs to break. The 1 cent mark, very psychological, big fib, everything. So yeah, get past the cent mark and you can see 0.012 fairly quickly, followed by 0.015. Tau. I thought that would have made a move by now, and it has not. I've been waiting for it to clear the mark that I sold it at before, and it still has not. So perhaps we're making, a little cup and handle situation. I don't know, but need to get over 777, and once that breaks, then we can see up here. But I'm kind of just waiting for that to happen. I haven't bought back into Tau since I sold it at 7, so I'm not going to jump in unless this proves to me it's going to want to go higher. And so far it hasn't. So until it does, I'm on the sidelines. There's a coin called Tua, huh? Absolutely fascinating. It's going to be a no for me. I mean, I guess the daily's back to being bullish. So as long as whatever really tiny number this is holds, then yeah, it could do something, but I don't support this behavior. I just don't. I'm sorry. How did you buy your house, son? Fart coin, Dad. This could be a real conversation next year. Absolutely could. Let's look at freaking fart coin, huh? All right. This is why crypto can't have nice things, is because we tarnish it with things like this. But the chart is amazing, and I can't deny it. So you'd have to do this one, which I venture to guess we're already at TP targets. Yeah, we're already beyond the 2.272. So now we just take the next one, and that's the 1.618. So we're getting really close to that main fib here, and so 89 cents, almost 90 cents would be the resistance. If it can clear it, then we can go another 100% from here to the 2.272. Very nice looking chart. Tesla, I love my Tesla. So if you've been here for a while, you watched me take NVIDIA from the lows to selling it too soon, but I still made a really good amount of money. And then I started putting all of those gains into Tesla around $100 and $120. And then I sold at the downtrend, which enabled me to take my shares of Tesla average down to $20 a coin. And now we are breaking all-time highs, and I think it's actually written on this chart. Is it? Oh yeah, it is. Okay. So this is basically where I bought, and I announced those buys in the Discord as well. And so now I hold 50% with an average of $20 per share, and I'm planning on taking this all the way up here before I sell. So I think Tesla can continue to do well even if the market starts turning bearish, because it was doing really bad for a long time while the market was very bullish. So if there's one stock that can do well even in a bear market, I think Tesla could be it. So I continue to hold. USDT, another airdrop I was not a part of. Let's see, Magic Eden. I don't know how to chart something this new, really, but that's definitely a downtrend. It doesn't look great. A lot of sellers apparently. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'd buy it yet if I was just like a buyer. It doesn't look like something I want to buy at the moment. Although maybe it's breaking that. It's hard to say. Looks like $4 needs to get back over $4. If it gets back over $4, someone ping me and I'll chart it again. How about that? Hey Groot, are you using modified fib levels? If so, is that something you share? Absolutely. I have YouTube videos that I've made and on fibs. It's the one that says buy sell on the thumbnail. And I also do one-on-one sessions that you can sign up for and book on my calendar, where I will go through and show you how to use and draw all of these tools. The 4-session course involves 4 one-hour sessions with me one-on-one on Zoom, where in between each session, you can also DM me your charts and we kind of practice what you learned on the previous session. I've done these one-on-one sessions for years now and have had over 140 students. And all of them have done extremely well afterwards. And so yeah, if you're interested in that, come check it out and sign up. I'm booked out till I think almost March now, and that's typical. I'm typically booked out at least 2 months. So a lot of people are like, do you have anything sooner? And unfortunately, I don't. People sign up for these things all the time. All right, so with that, we're going to end the live stream. I hope you found this informational, and if you liked and enjoyed it, please hit the like button and subscribe. Come join us in the Discord. We do really well, and we have been for years. Groot out. Merry Christmas. Bye.